Good evening. I would like to welcome everyone to the Personnel Committee meeting this evening, Monday, December 1st, 2025, and we are starting at 4:35 p.m. Let's see. We have an agenda before us. Is there a motion?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second. We have a motion and it's been properly seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? And we have an agenda. Dr. Hummer.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Chair. Hope everyone had a fantastic holiday break. We are ready to hit the ground running for the next couple weeks for the next holiday, and then we'll get started on the new semester after January. So we have a series of items for you this evening, all of which are for information only. The first item is, which is our running item, is to give you an update of where we are with our staffing. We also have a recruitment retention update, as well as benefits and incentives. We have Mr. West here, who is joining us for his first committee meeting as well. He's been hitting the ground running. He doesn't have the deer in the headlights look as much as he did a couple weeks ago, but he is doing very well with the support he has in HR. And then, as always, we're going to provide you an update with where we are with our human capital management system as well. So with that, unless there are any questions, I will hand it over to Mrs. Campbell and her team. Thank you, sir.
All right. Well, I am actually going to hand it directly over to Rachel, but also just want to echo, hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving break. All right.
Hello, everyone. So I'm just going to go through the slides as we always do. So you can see here our professional vacancies broken down by level. I think I'll do it this one, right? And the teacher vacancies by content. This slide contrasts our most applicable date from last year to this year as to where we are with vacancies, with the most notable difference being that we still have more elementary education vacancies than we do in special education, which was vastly different last year.
Sure.
And here's a breakdown of our support vacancies, and we do have those broken down for you by level.
Thank you. Okay.
And again, this is a comparison of last year to this year. You can see we've greatly reduced our vacancies from last year.
Mm-hmm.
These are all the professional vacancies that we have filled since July 1. And the years of experience of our new teachers that we've hired. Are there any questions about any of that?
Any questions? Okay.
All right, then we'd like to welcome up Mr. Daniel West for the recruitment and retention update.
Yeah, you don't get to sit and talk. Sorry.
I didn't think so. All right, well, good evening. Thank you for having me up here. So yeah, just to touch base on a couple different recruitment efforts that we've been going through over, at least in my short little time here. So as the first bullet point says, just recently started with us on October 20th. Definitely in my phase of discovery, I would say, as going through just learning everything that the department has to offer, the things that we've done in the past, and seeing how my experience kind of aligns with what I can bring into the department, at least in the recruitment work that I've done in the past. So still getting those things together. But in my short time here, where we've already attended 5 job fairs, had the AAEE one in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Then we went to Longwood, VCU. Did 2 virtual fairs online, so we've definitely been getting our name out there. Even if we also had a few of the folks that visited us at those job fairs are going to attend our December virtual fair and speak with us further at that. So that was definitely good to see. As far as recruitment plans, so first bullet point there, continue creative marketing strategies. So that's really kind of playing into that discovery phase as well, seeing what we've done in the past, seeing what we can do in the future, how we can better reach folks to come to FCPS to join the team, join the mission that we have here. As I mentioned before, the FCPS Virtual Job Fair, December 9th, that's 4:30 to 6. We've sent out the sign-up sheets through social media links and through our other communication platforms. I believe we have 34 folks registered, I think last I saw. Good number there. We already got a few different administrators from here at the school board office, as well as a few different principals to join us that evening to talk to candidates. So should be good. Registration for spring fairs to capture May 2026 graduates. We've already signed up for ones such as Liberty, Radford. I know a big one's JMU. We've got a couple others that we've signed up for as well that we're going to be attending. So looking forward to getting those moving. And then exploring new and existing partnerships to expand staffing efficiency. So just kind of looking at some of the organizations that are even around us, close to us, within close proximity, even maybe a little further, just to see how we can kind of expand the name, get our name out there more, and even emphasize, what a great area we have and what a great organization that we have, a district that we have. So kind of looking into discovering more of those as well. But did anybody have any questions on any of that?
Could you give us some examples of some of the new and existing partnerships?
Yeah, so one of the ones that I'm looking at in particular, I'm looking at partnering with, and this is just kind of that discovery phase. I haven't really done anything with it just yet, but looking at the Virginia Workforce Commission, or the VEC, or at least it used to be called the VEC. What's the name of that again?
Yeah,
Sorry, go
the
ahead. Yeah.
Virginia Employment Commission.
Yeah. So in the past, my wife actually used to work there, but they've done things like put on employment fairs, done creative marketing for employers to be able to send out to their list of contacts to bring folks in. So just kind of looking at some sort of partnership there as well. As far as any other specifics, I'm still kind of working through those. I'm not quite there yet, but that's one of the big ones that I'd like to look at soon.
Any other questions? No. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
All right, now we're going to switch gears and talk about the results of our benefits and incentive survey that was completed in September. So this was sent out to all of our staff, and this shows those that responded, the numbers that responded by full-time, part-time, benefit eligible, and part-time not benefit eligible.
And you showed this at the board retreat, correct?
I did,
Yeah.
yes.
Thank you.
And in the survey, we asked respondents to rate their level of agreement with the following statements. So with regard to achieving career goals, appreciation for the work that they do, recognition, and how they feel in terms of being rewarded for the work that they do. So you can see the bell curve there. The type of recognition that is most meaningful to our employees, tangible rewards is there at the top. Private acknowledgement from leadership, and we did give them choices. We gave them options to choose from, and then we also had in other categories, so that's where you see a combination of things in that middle section there.
Can you go back to the previous slide, please?
Sure.
One of my concerns is the first graph where it indicates helping me achieve my career goals, where it predominantly neutral. I see that the second place is agree, but I'm wondering, those neutral folk, why aren't they feeling like, to me, neutral is just a cop-out of saying you really don't help me achieve my career goals. So I'm wondering what it is. Have you been able to dig in deeper to that, or?
Yes, so they were able to give some comments, so we do have some additional data there. And there has been a lot of discussion recently about the career pathing, and it's part of our strategic plan, so we will have a team specifically looking at how we can build that out, because
Sure.
we do need to provide our employees with more options for professional development, and also provide them with growth opportunities within our division so they don't leave to pursue those other places.
Agreed. It's not just
Yeah.
about the pay, it's about the opportunity too. Okay, thank you.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit concerned with the 28% completion rate for the survey. I'm wondering if you have any insight, are we over-surveying our employees, or do they not feel comfortable responding because of, fears of true anonymity, or what do you think, why do you think that is?
So I would say there's always that factor. We do make it anonymous because we want to get real information back. But I think in a general sense, whenever you send a survey out, there's concern that they may be able to be identified. So I do think that's one of the factors. I think time is a factor, although we try to make the survey as succinct as possible while still getting the information that we need. September is a busy time, so it's partly, I would imagine, just workload and not getting to the survey. So we can consider making that period of time longer in the future. We do this every fall and we try to do this to inform the budget process. So that's the reason for the time of year. But we could look at extending the timeline so people have more of an opportunity.
Yeah, one of the themes that I noticed in the survey results was just, planning time was a concern, and having autonomy in their schedules. But I
Right.
really do think that encouraging like a stand down period of maybe even 30 minutes to like really encourage, and I'm just worried that maybe they also just don't believe that their results are going to be utilized for anything. So maybe stronger emphasis from us or someone. I just really would like to see that
Right.
completion rate go up. And
Agreed. Yes, this is
maybe
a small fraction of our 2,500 employees.
without surveying them as to why they're not completing the survey.
We did meet with the VEA representatives. We had an opportunity to do that. We do that in the fall. So we did prompt them to say, hey, can you go around to your buildings and get the word out that we feel like this is a very important part of the process in terms of finding out what drives our employees. So yeah, we can absolutely, I agree, we need a higher participation.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
So I'm wondering, to follow up on Ms. Crusoe's question, has there been any thought as to maybe bringing in an independent source to survey the teachers on these types of things, or the staff on these types of things, where the questions and information is completely independent of the school district, which could then lead to a much more larger possibility of anonymity for them versus getting it from, or having to turn it in directly to you?
So I think our division has done some different things with the climate and engagement survey. I can't recall if we've outsourced that before, but that's certainly something we could look at with the Department of Assessment and Reporting to see if there are other tools. We probably want to start with making sure that that is a factor in terms of why employees might not
Of
be
course.
responding.
Of course, but I'm
That could be something that we could look at.
yeah, having it done independently versus from
Right.
within the school, because I know when I get surveys at my school, I'm absolutely positively certain that if anyone wants to know who turned in one of those surveys, they can easily do so.
Right.
So, thank you. Any other questions?
But I think that's a real good idea, and I do believe that you would get a lot more respondents if they felt very safe that they were not going to be recognized, that it's going to a third party, and the third party is going to give you that information, and you can't ask, where did you get that from? Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Okay.
So,
And I can assure you that this was, there was no way to identify those. For those who may be listening, we did not have a way to identify, but absolutely understand that
It's
there's comfort
perception.
in knowing that another
Yeah.
company would be collecting the information.
sure.
Can I add? Is that okay, Mr. Chair?
Absolutely.
Okay, so
Only if you wear this hat.
no, thank you. I already did my duty the other day, wearing that all day long. So a couple things I want to add. I mean, absolutely, we always want to strive for a higher percentage when we deal with these surveys, but a good target percentage, just based on numerous variables, is 30 to 50%. That is where we want to look at that target to generalize the majority of our of our respondents in regards to what they are saying, and also what they were reported, kind of to Mrs. Caruso's point of more planning time and such. This wasn't far off based on other ways of getting feedback from our staff. So we have staff meetings, we get out and talk with administrators, we have anecdotal conversations. All of our staff have these conversations, and it pretty much aligns. And when you take a look at school budgeting, it's complicated, as we know. I mean, when we're dealing with getting requests from numerous departments, and we're getting requests on numerous ends, from instruction to finance to school levels to construction, that number continues to climb. And it's up to us to determine what those priorities are, even though all of those are important. So it is a complicated matter, but we like to get a good idea of where our staff are in regards to what they're looking for. So it's not far off in regards to when we have these anecdotal conversations. I would say in regards to the trust piece, and I always like to share this story. So when we do our advisory group, initially we were getting 3 to 4 questions from staff. And what that advisory group looks like, and I've shared some of this with you all to provide context, is that we get a survey together that goes out to every employee throughout the division at each school, and they submit a question, a concern, something they like, something they want to see changed. And when I first started, there was 3 on there. And a lot of the folks felt that it was not anonymous, and they didn't want to submit their questions because they felt that there was going to be retaliation, all common feelings towards filling out a survey. So once we created the survey to be more anonymous, we are now up to 150 questions on there, and a lot of staff are more appreciative of that. Now, it's a lot of work for my team and I to answer all those questions every quarter, but we appreciate it, and it's something that we look forward to doing because we want to answer those questions. I share all that to say we'll do, of course, as you know, whatever the board wants us to do. But I think if we add one more person to this giving feedback, I think it might actually reduce the amount of folks that are going to submit anything, because then it's one more person that gets that information to then give to us. So I would be a little weary of that. That's just my 2 cents, but we're more than happy to do whatever all you would wish us to do. So it's just building trust, gathering feedback, gathering information, and showing that we care. We've gotten a lot of positive feedback over the last 3 years of the amount of increases we've had in regards to salaries as we continue to work through other areas. So anyway, just want to provide a bigger context there.
Thank you, Dr. Hummer.
Yes, sir.
As always, I appreciate your thoughts.
Okay, the next one is we asked them to select up to 3 most important factors that contribute to their work-life balance. And the first one was time management, so their ability to just schedule, organize, plan. Second one was stress management. So that would be, techniques to cope with stress. And then self-management, which can be goal setting, just self-awareness in general, ability to regulate. Those were the top categories there.
Okay.
And then we asked these 3 questions. What makes you excited to work for us? What motivates you to give your best work? And in what ways does leadership energize you to come to work? So you see the themes here. They're excited to work with students. That's what we want to see. They're attracted by the short commute. And they're coworkers. And we hear that a lot in interviews and different places, that's what keeps people here. Motivation is helping students succeed, personal work ethic, contributing positively to students' futures, and energized to come to work, respect and trust, positive and encouraging environment, and autonomy.
Thank you.
And then we look at the top 3 ways that we attract, engage, and retain talent. And so the big categories there are bonuses and raises, not surprisingly, additional time off, and then health and wellness.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any context on what this reality check task force is and the other?
I think what they were getting at there is just really having a true pulse on what is happening. As Dr. Hummer said, we have a lot of ways that we get feedback through advisory committees and things, so I think we get a lot of that type of feedback, but it would be formalizing a more I guess, intentional task force around that. And I can look at the specific comment that was pulled from to see if there's any more context.
Was that like an open text field? Okay.
Yes, it was.
Thank you.
So we provided the other items in a list format where they could check them.
Sure.
And then we had the other category where they could fill in.
Okay.
Top 3 existing benefits that are most important: healthcare, is there at the top, the leave benefits, retirement plans, and the Valley Health Family Care Center. And then as we look at benefits that should be improved or added, this was an open field, so we're summarizing here. But in terms of improving existing benefits, medical, dental, and vision, that has to do with premiums, network of providers, things like that. The leave benefits, there was mention of paid time off versus our buckets of leave that we have for sick leave, personal leave, and annual leave. With the Valley Health Family Care Center, there were several comments about just expanding the hours to accommodate more visits, as well as visits before and after work, as well as access. The access part is opening it up to those that are not participating on our Anthem plan. So currently, you have to participate on our Anthem plan to be able to utilize the clinic. Compensation, tuition reimbursement amount, just in terms of the amount that we provide as a reimbursement. EAP, 403B vendors, we have one vendor. They're looking for us to expand that to include others. And then for additions, health insurance plan for retirees. There's mention of remote or hybrid work options, and then childcare discounts, which has been something that has come up previously. And then just other incentives or things that we could offer that would have a great impact on employees. So this is, again, an open field, but there's some themes of time and flexibility, looking at workload, reducing workload, providing more staff, and then just overall culture.
So you have all of this information. What is your next step with this information?
So we have been we're looking through the specific responses, and then we are going to fold this into the strategic initiatives. There's one specifically around helping with burnout, and Tashika will be instrumental in that, leading that team, so we can use this information to guide what types of recommendations that we'll bring forward. And some of them won't be big funding, opportunities. Some of these things that we can offer or highlight benefits in a better way to make sure that individuals feel supported. Some things do come with a monetary
Most things
price
do.
tag.
What's the low-hanging fruit here for this that you found, if any?
I think we've done a lot in terms of the calendar and the time off piece. I think what we're hearing is people want more flexibility. The one thing I think we'll say with low-hanging fruit is probably just looking at our benefit plans and making sure that what employees want out of them is what we are offering, because
Sure.
there are ways to rework those that
Okay.
don't necessarily result in additional costs. And that also goes along with looking at our benefits and making sure that we're competitive in terms of what we offer. So
That's
that's
great.
probably the good starting, and that's what we've been starting with.
Especially now, yes, thank
Yeah.
you.
How many
Yep.
teachers, people, for what lack of a better word, travel between schools?
How many travel between schools? I think we looked at that recently, about 30 plus.
Yeah.
So the ideal scenario would be that we don't have any traveling teachers. The
Sure.
reason that we do is that there's a fluctuation in student needs. So for certain positions, it's not the core teachers necessarily, but it could be PE or some others that we need
Yeah.
them to split up their time. So they're not traveling usually within the day. It's usually that they alternate days.
Okay. I can see why they wouldn't like that.
Right.
And fewer meetings. I can see that too.
We would all like fewer meetings.
Thank you.
And what is their likelihood of recommending FCPS to family and friends? So we're looking pretty good there. Some neutral response, but over the highest, the category is 4, so that's likely. And that's everything on that. Any questions?
Thank you.
Additional comments? Thank you. All right, so then we're switching over to an update on the human capital management system, and this will be quick, but we're still in that initiation phase. It's a long process, but we're very excited to report that we've just finished reviewing all of the proposals. I think that was our Thanksgiving break activity for some of us here. But we're very excited to finish that, so we will be meeting together tomorrow as a committee to go through who we think are our top vendors or the top vendor, and we'll be bringing in the vendor or vendors for presentations later this month before the break.
How many did you get?
Am I allowed to say? Okay. I'm always worried I'm going to break a rule on the. I think we had 12 vendors, so we had a really good response.
That's great.
We were very excited about that.
That is great. And how many do you anticipate bringing back?
That I don't know. It just depends on if we have some clear front runners. I would imagine that we'll have a handful, though.
Good.
We had some really good responses.
That's great.
I'm excited.
Thank you.
All right. That concludes our presentation.
Any follow-up questions, additional questions, concerns, comments? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Dr. Hummer?
No, thank you, sir. We're available to answer any of your other questions.
All right. So I think I need a motion.
I make a motion that we adjourn.
Yeah.
I make a motion that we adjourn.
Second.
Boy, that was quick. So there's been a motion to adjourn the meeting, and it's been properly seconded. Any discussion? Just the only thing is I would like to welcome our new person. Congratulations. You're hitting the ground running. It sounds like you've been traveling a lot, and we look forward to hearing more from you. So welcome. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Meeting's adjourned.